Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Figuring Out Your Audio and Video, hosted by the absolute most amateur video and audio guy. Let's hop right in. Now, disclaimer, did not go to school for video, did not go to school for audio. I went to school to be a musician and to be a band director. I still do those things and I love them. But doing this as a side thing, obviously I know the sound arena, I know the video arena, but I'm not that guy. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of things. Number one, let me kind of tell you guys what was happening. Day one streaming less than a week ago for me. What I learned after that was sound is complicated. I realized that after streaming number one. So I streamed some Flight Simulator. There's a shot where like the engines of the plane are so overly loud you can't even distinguish what I'm saying. Cringeworthy. I keep it up as a reminder of how bad it was. That first recording happened via this, okay? My absolute favorite headphones ever. Bottom line was, I was trying to record this level of audio in my mind with what I thought sounded really good, because man, the monitor sound using Corsair's engine, and it provides such a good sound, and you're like, oh man, I sound good. But then you hear yourself and it's like, no, I don't sound good at all. No. I wanted to invest in a couple different things. Number one was getting the right audio to happen. So I was like, well, I'll be willing to pay a little bit of money for some software or whatever I've got to do. I started kind of asking around. I know some people that basically do a lot of audio stuff, and I thought they can help me out. That won't be too hard, right? Turns out that the audio people had stuff that they were willing to let me borrow or have. So this is literally just home with me for the weekend. I'm going to take it back to work on Monday. It's just a test. I wanted to see if it was really worth the difference. So I'm going to be making another video here before too long, maybe the same night, because it is officially 4:37 in the morning and I can't go to bed because I'm trying to think about content to put on YouTube. Insert crazy sound here. Last time I had caffeine was probably 12 hours ago. I don't know what's wrong with me. The Rode mic, basically a demo. One of the mics that was given to me was about $100. It's an MXL 990. So I'll be trying this out and comparing it alongside this one, see what kind of difference we get in the microphones. So I decided to see what Amazon had, as we all do. So they had, you can smell the plastic processing plant in the box. It's so good. So they had this 50-ish kit. The microphone, condenser microphone, probably newer. I don't know how you say that. They're just trying to get you to think that it's new. The newer NW700. They had the mic and then the boom arm. This is a different one, but it's in here in this box. There's a boom arm, adjustable to the desk clamp. There's an XLR to 3.25 millimeter jack. There is a shock absorber, the desk clamp, and some other odds and ends things you might need to make this work. There's a pop filter as well. So it had all these components, and I want to say it was like $50 on Amazon. So then I said I want a good mic, but I want to make sure I'm giving the microphone justice. So like you can take this and plug it in and do some fancy stuff and go in via USB. So I ended up getting the Behringer mixer board Q802, and that puppy does plug into USB. So I thought, that's going to be enough to basically give the USB perfect audio, right? It's going to be amazing audio because the mixer's doing all that work. Wrong. It did not work with what I have going on here. I plugged in this microphone, ran it into the computer using the USB, ran all the settings the way they're supposed to be run, but I'm getting this chaotic feedback in my audio recording. Basically, most of the time that I'm talking, there's like this noise happening before, after, during. It was better than the Corsair headset. It was a step up. Not a very big one. This this size step up, right? Okay. I started YouTubing some things, and most of the guys that I saw putting and using this particular mixer board, they were plugging it in directly into their microphone jack. And I was like, well, I need to get that special cable. That's basically 2 male 1/4-inch cables that go into the main out of this thing, and then it goes in and meets into 1 male 3.5 millimeter, the pink one in the back, right? Pink circle. So I went down to Guitar Center in Nashville and got this cable, 30 some odd dollars. I went ahead and got the gold plated, made sure it was top notch, put it in, and voila, it took out that electric hiss. It was so nice. It worked out very well to do that, and that was a quick fix to get rid of that electric hiss. So it fixed that part. Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something really fun. Okay, so here, let's first transition. I'm going to start actually looking at my screen more. Voila, there. Look, it's a little bit of like OBS Inception. Okay, so I want to show you this file here. This is the file where all of my recordings go for OBS. These are all from today, and I say today very loosely because I started this process technically on the 30th of August. But I did this on the tail end of a 12-hour Twitch stream that started on the 29th of August. I've been sitting in this computer desk for 14 hours. I decided I would start playing with the sound because I just still wasn't satisfied. So I basically spent all this time, 1:53 a.m. to my most, probably about right here, about 4:20-ish in the morning, that I was actually done tinkering with the sound, and I finally got to this point where it sounds pretty good in my opinion. And I went to YouTube and I looked through all these different videos on how to make it better, and I tried all these things, I tried all these settings. I decided I would just start tinkering with it myself. I started going into the settings here, not so much settings for OBS. Of course, you want to make sure your audio is set correctly. I have this happening on audio input capture. Actually, you want to go to your, let's look at this first. I'm going to go to control panel. Go to my hardware and sound, manage audio devices. So let's go back to the beginning. When I first started looking at this, I went and said, what do I need to download? What software do I need to download? What do I need to have? And there's a lot of people saying, oh yeah, go get Voicemeeter, go get Voicemeeter Banana, yada yada yada. It's gonna be great. It's what you need. So I got Voicemeeter, and it turned out to not be really that good. Used Voicemeeter for a while, but now I don't. I'm actually going to I'm going to go ahead and go back to setting my microphone as the default. So what happened with Voicemeeter was it was basically distorting and electronically altering my voice a little bit, and it kind of sounded weird. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just try it without it, and it made it better. And I just couldn't get to sound right with it on, really. So I decided I'd try it without. Here we are. So let's show you some things. So like here's kind of where I was.
This is a test to see how the ability of compressor works.
Don't you hate watching yourself? I do. So you can hear, the biggest thing that I'm hearing on that one that was bothering me was, obviously I kind of sounded like I was muffled a little bit or digitally compressed. And then there was that little, there's like this little weird sound at the end of each.
Compressor
Hear that?
Works.
Hear that?
Compressor.
That sound, that decay happening. Basically, if you watch this audio input capture down here, when I speak, it takes time to decay, right? It was almost like we were hearing a decay as much as we were seeing it. And it was making the audio sound very bad. Okay, so I went on a mission to figure out how to fix that, and ended up finding that for me, go to filters, noise suppression. I don't know what other YouTubers use here. I don't know what other Twitch streamers use here, but I've seen anything from here to here to here to here to here. But for some reason, this works for my setup. I don't know if it has to do with the way my fans are blowing off my PC or the fridge behind me. They're both pretty quiet, but I think that might have been that background noise. It seemed to work. I've got a compressor on. Again, I don't know what other people use. This is just what worked for me. And I've tried tweaking basically each one several more times to see if it works any better. And that's this list of file folders or files over here of my attempts should prove that I've tried. So this is basically, your threshold is where is it going to start bringing your upper range down into, like how loud, and so once it starts compressing that high end, you have to also bring up your bottom end volume. So that's what the output gain is. So most of the time you have to boost this up to get the mixture that you're making with the compressor, getting it into this narrow of a sound. You're trying to get that up here so that everybody can hear it at this level and hear it clearly. So that's kind of what these two do. Attack, you want it to be low because that's how quickly this engages. Then with my noise gate, that's the only other thing I'm running right now. I've got, this is what like popped up first. I just left it alone and it worked really well. So I'm gonna leave it like that. The only thing I did change was the attack time, the hold time, and the release time. So I changed those and that seemed to work really well for my setup, what I've got going on here. I keep emphasizing that, you guys, like it's just what's working for me. Now, once I got all that done, and that was probably like 1:53 a.m. to 3:53 a.m. I start getting some better sounds here.
Balance mid, balance bass.
So once so you can hear that extra sound.
This is without any mid on the mixer board.
You can hear that those extra noises are gone. So the sound suppression, the noise gate, the compressor are all working pretty good. And I think right about that time in the middle of the morning, this is again 3:47 in the morning, I think that I had already taken out voice meter. So that first file you're listening to had voice meter in it. And that was part of some of that electronic-y sound, I think. That's how we got to this sound. And y'all, that's my settings and that's how it's working for me. Now, I'm not telling you it's going to work for you. In fact, I'm telling you it's probably not going to work with you. What I am telling you is that if you'll just kind of fight through it and deal with it and play with it, then you'll find results eventually. If you invest in a decent microphone, and again, hopefully within a week here, you're going to see a video that's comparing these three microphones. And it's going to make you go, hey, I don't really need to go spend $300, $400 on a microphone. I can go buy the Amazon one, or I can just spend $100 if I got the $100. And, whatever you can do, you don't want to dump a ton of money into something that you don't, you're just kind of figuring out. And I am, and so I'm lucky. That's why I'm saying this was let me borrow and I got stuff donated. I'm not going to go dump a ton of money into this right now until I feel like this is something I'm actually going to be able to keep up with. So anyways, I'm telling you that as a small time starting streamer, which is literally what I'm catering this video to, you need to commit the time to figuring out what's going to make it sound good and look good. Now, in that order. So in priority is, does my audio sound good? So make sure you go back and listen. I keep my desktop audio pretty low. The reason I do that is because people get on Twitch to watch you and listen to you talk. And as you start beginning to get a community, which I don't even have yet, but I've been watching and doing a lot of learning on this. As you get your community, especially the first 100 followers and people chatting with you, it's really about like that friendship. I just spent 3 hours mainly tinkering with my audio and my video settings. And that is what is going to make my next stream better. And if I can make every stream better than the last one, then we're going somewhere. And at some point, people are going to start to notice that, and they're going to go, hey, this guy's putting in the time. And that's what you guys want. So that's what you want for your people too. So make sure you dive in. There's no quick fix. You can't just go buy that cheap $20 Logitech push-to-talk microphone that you get at Walmart and expect that to work for this. But there are some affordable ways to make this work. Okay, so go invest the time. Now I was really lucky. Like I said, I got a lot of things kind of borrowed and loaned and then also just donated to me. I got lucky. I know you might not be that lucky, but I'm just saying, if you go the route of kind of investing a little bit up front, the mixer board that I'm talking about is probably the best thing you can invest in. It's $100 I think it's $100, maybe 130. I don't remember. That's one of the best things you can invest in, because then you have an interface to plug into that can communicate to your programs better and into your computer better. On to the video. I have a $30 webcam. It's not the best, but the technology in webcams sucks. You know, there's all this talk of, you know, why can this thin iPhone, why can this do so much compared to the clunky webcam you're buying? Well, you gotta remember that this has an incredible processor in it, and if you wanted to, you know, basically have that in a webcam, you're gonna spend a ton of money. And there are some out there that are coming out 4K that are a lot better, and it's looking better, but streaming wise, I'm using the webcam right now, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm making this YouTube video with the webcam as well, because I want y'all to see what it can do. But in the future, I will probably make my YouTube videos off of the phone. Here's why I did it on the webcam for this. It's not ideal. It doesn't look best. But y'all, watch. Webcam 2 is what I've got it labeled as. You're going to go to its properties. Okay. It's going to bring this up. For me, it's labeled as USB live camera. You can the first time configure it. I'm going to tell you right now, turn this low light compensation off. I'm not going to turn it on because I'm afraid it might do something, but basically it uses a whole bunch of frames per second to try and compensate for low light. Now my room up here is pretty lowly lit. I've got one monitor right here that is giving me a white screen, and that's giving me good lighting, and I've got a lamp right here aimed at the wall giving me a wash with a little bit of red thrown in here to give me some color. So that's, I know that there's lights out there to make me look even better. I look terrible in this probably, but it's decent lighting for a stream, and it's not YouTube studio quality, but it's decent for a streaming process. If you tell it to do low light compensation, which it defaults to for me, then it's going to kind of slow down your frames per second, and it's going to make it look jittery and not so good. So leave that off, turn it off. Leave these other two on auto, okay? Everything else, don't touch it. Now, when you're here, it will want to go resolution device default. If it lets you, it's possible it might not let you. Select custom, go to resolution, select the highest resolution possible, and then select your highest FPS. Don't let it match output, go highest. Video format, just go ahead and go any. Don't touch color space. When I did those settings on this webcam, it changed the whole like graininess. It changed how the quality of the video. It's not perfect. I know, I get it. It's a webcam, but for what it is, it's a $25, maybe $30 webcam. It's pretty stinking good. You gotta admit. And so then you got this set up, and then you're good for your first 1,000 followers. You don't need anything more than this until you start getting affiliated and you've got money coming in that you can spend on this. My opinion. That's why I'm saying, I mean, as I build my community, it's going to be built on pretty daggum good audio, all things considered, decent video, a good, and most importantly, good community, and fun, entertaining to watch. So guys, all in all, these are just some tips that help me, that help you. They may not. Video and audio is more important. Get that right first, then start playing with the video, and you might be surprised what you can produce. Don't forget, I think somewhere over here, you're gonna see a like button. It looks like this, right? Thumbs up. Click that one because that means you like the video. If you watched all the way to this point and you're listening to me right now, you liked it, or at least it found it helpful. Click that like button for me. And then over here, there's a red button that says subscribe. I will always appreciate every subscriber. I appreciate the follow. I appreciate the subscribe. And whatever it is, we can support each other. So you follow me, I'll follow you. You subscribe to me, I'm gonna subscribe to you. You watch me, I'll watch you. And let's chat back and forth and like discuss how we're gonna be better streamers and better YouTubers. So let's collaborate. Let's make this fun, okay? So that's my encouragement to you. So the first step is liking over here, right? Liking the video, subscribing over here. And I'll probably put some links in the video around here to the products that I'm using. But yeah, this is me, is my logo right here. Anytime you see this one right here, you know it's Apacos117. And I got Twitter, I got Twitch, I got YouTube. Other than that, you guys have a great evening, day, whatever time of the world you're watching this. Just have a great one. Peace out till next time.